Go up the middle. We're going to start on the right, up the middle. Tim O'Malley.
CJ, just one question. Your offensive line has kept you clean for most of the season. Tonight it was almost impeccable. Maybe one guy hit you on the throw to Cam Williams. Just discuss what they did to help you in a game where you knew you need a little more time to take shots downfield.
Yeah, I was thinking about that at halftime. Actually, I was trying to think of if I had gotten not even hit, but like touched by anyone. I hadn't. And, they did an unbelievable job today, and that's a unit that we expect to do what they did this night, and they protect me well and ran the ball really well, and those guys in there did an unbelievable job, and I'm thankful to have them.
Front row on the left, Tyler Horka.
I feel like I'm asking you about Jeremiah pretty much after every game, but what was your view like for that incredible touchdown and kind of what's going through your mind in that moment?
I had the best view in the house, to be honest. Honestly, I was like, all right, let's, third down, let's get ready for the next play. I'm looking over the sideline, hear the crowd go crazy. I'm like, what just happened? See him kind of roll over and go, and it was fun to watch, and it's always nice when you can have a guy do something like that, and it takes a lot of pressure off you.
What's it say about the depth of this pass-catching core where you can have a guy like CJ Smith come in first play of the game and you hit him for that 34-yard touchdown?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And we expect KK to come in and make the plays he does, and every time he's in there, he's doing the right thing in the right spots, making plays. And I could go across the board and talk about every guy on our depth chart that can do that, and a lot of depths. That's right.
Third row on the right, Chris Kwasinski.
CJ, could you describe the connection you had with Malachi today?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I don't know if we had expected it to be what it was, just because we knew they were going to play a lot of zero and try and bring it from different areas. But after the second drive of the game, we saw their man player on the tight end kind of lift above Will Pauling a lot, and they were taking him away a lot. So they opened up the boundary, and, he's hard to stop, no matter who's out in the boundary there. And so, gave him a chance on a lot of balls, and he came down with them, and we're going to keep doing that.
Second row on the left, Mike Berardino.
CJ, they've won a lot of games around here lately with quarterbacks from the South, but you're a Midwestern guy. So when you see snow on a night game, what do you think?
I love it. We, I talk about this with my dad a lot, but when you see a Southern quarterback on the other side, it's almost like I can take him. Like I'm better than him, just because you're from Michigan, you're from the Midwest, you've seen the snow, you can do it all. I played in the rain and the snow, and it's not fun. You'd rather be in the sunshine, but you can handle the situation. We've been there.
And then you get Ty Washington's the first tight end with a touchdown in the red zone this year. I mean, with Eli's, you like him downfield in other situations. What's the tight end's role for you guys when you get into red zone territory? Why is it taken until now to find a tight end in that spot?
Yeah, we ask our tight ends to do a lot, whether it's in the run game and the pass game, and it was great to finally get Ty in the end zone there, and we're excited to happen.
Staying in the same row, Tyler James.
Thank you. CJ, you mentioned knowing that Navy was going to play some cover zero. Does that motivate you when you know a defense is going to do something like that and give you opportunities to stretch the field?
Yeah, I thought there were a lot of different looks Navy can give you. They're good defense. They bring a lot of different pressures behind a lot of different coverages, and so the preparation coming in was a lot, and I think it was good for us. And we went out there and knew the looks, saw the looks, and executed. And some of those were on zeros, some of them were on cover two to the field. Some of it was 40 coverage, and so it was a lot of different stuff. And I thought we did a good job all across the board of recognizing it and getting in the right play and executing.
And then what kind of focus has been scoring in the red zone, finishing drives in the red zone been for you guys lately?
Yeah, it was a big emphasis, and I thought we did a really, really good job tonight.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Malachi, we asked CJ a couple questions about this, but when you see a team like Navy that's obviously loading up to stop the run, like how do you respond to that as a receiver, knowing you're going to get those opportunities downfield?
It just puts a smile on my face, first of all, just knowing that it's one-on-one, just me and the guy across from me, and just trying to win that one-on-one for the team and then going to get my job done.
We're going to go Tyler James.
Malachi, what sort of satisfaction do you get seeing so many different receivers get involved in the passing game in a game like today?
Oh man, I'm super satisfied. You know, it's just cool to see all your guys just balling. We were saying on the sideline, everybody eats because we just see it all week throughout practice, all year. Really, just all these different guys who can come in at any moment and make plays, and then just showcasing that tonight has been cool.
And what kind of growth have you seen in CJ Carr this season?
Immaculate growth. Like he's just seeing everything so well. He's taking the challenges, never flinching, never hesitating. It's just he's out there having fun, just playing ball.
Same row, Mike Berardino.
What do you think when you have a cold weather game like this, snow flurries, and you got a guy from the Midwest throwing the passes?
Like I said, I know he's not going to flinch. I know he's going to stand in there and deal, just knowing that he's been through it before and, you know, he has some experience with it.
Navy struggled in coverage most of the year by the stats. Did you feel like when you got downfield that you're either going to get open or they're going to have to draw a flag? Was that kind of game confidence-wise?
We definitely came in expecting that we'd be able to get open, be able to have some deep shots. So that was in the game plan to, you know, take some shots down the field. So
Front row on the left, Tyler Horka.
You've obviously been on the receiving end of some of those deep passes from CJ. Can you kind of take us through maybe what you see from him in practice and obviously in these games as well? Just what makes him so good on those throws specifically?
I think just the pride he takes in getting it right. You know, if we miss it in practice, you know, we're staying after and repping it just so we get it right for Saturdays. And then just the film study and just the looks that we get from our guys in practice. And it's like we see it all week, so we know what it's going to be like on Saturdays. So just the film study and staying extra for work, and then those guys at practice that are giving us a good look.
And then speaking of taking pride in something, when you're blocking for the running backs that you guys are here, how fun has that been through 9 games this season, and just like how much joy do the wide receivers take in that?
Man, I take all the joy in the world out of it, and we talk about it all the time. Like these guys are going to break a tackle, and we don't want to let our guy make the play, so we're just going to continue to block until we hit a whistle. And then the play Jeremiah had today, it was crazy. Me and CJ were looking at each other like, oh, this guy's not real. Like we thought the play was over, and then all of a sudden he's run down the sideline, but it's just been cool.
Front row on the right, Eric Hansen.
Hey, Malachi, I know having the numbers that you had at Virginia, you have confidence in yourself, but I'm wondering when you came into this new setting, what was kind of that journey like with the confidence and the chemistry with CJ Carr?
I think you just keep that confidence, you know, knowing what you've accomplished, but you be humble about it. And you go to work. You get with him, get the timing down, get, you know, chemistry down, and just trust that he's going to trust me, and then go out there and play on Saturdays.
When you first came in here, somebody that I respect compared you to Michael Floyd, who's the all-time leading receiver here. I had a chance to ask Michael about you today, and he said that he also sees some of the same skill sets. I'm wondering if you're familiar with him at all. Do you know his game at all?
A little bit, not too familiar, but that's awesome to hear from a great.
Jaden, Marcus was in here talking about not playing football, but playing football even against an offense as complicated and assignment-oriented as Navy. Like, what's that like from a linebacker's perspective of like wanting to be assignments down but also playing aggressive?
Yeah, you know, all week as a defense, we talked about, you know, how they're going to, you know, show us a lot of window dressing, make us communicate, move around a lot. But once the ball snaps, it's football. You know, you got to play fast, play violent. That's what we talked about all week. So I really, you know, use that in the game today, and that's something that I kept with me all game. So
Up the middle, Tim O'Malley.
Jaden, I don't know if you had a stop last year against Navy. What was that experience carrying over, and did you have a week of practice where you realized you were going to have a very impactful game?
yeah, I would say the difference from last year compared to this year is last year was my first time playing it, so things were moving kind of a lot faster. I was looking at, you know, some things that I wasn't supposed to look at on some plays, and then we played Army, and then we played Navy this year, so this is technically my 3rd time playing against it. And this year I felt, you know, a lot more faster against it. I knew what was coming. You know, we always know when we play Navy, you know, we're going to have something new, but we all adjusted to it pretty well. So,
Kind of building on that, 5 linebackers played a key role today, including Madden. What's the challenge there, especially against Navy, where I think, you know, usually you're used to playing a couple positions, but was that a different situation facing that offense?
yeah, you know, playing the rover position and that type of defense, it's very different than playing regular linebacker, which I've been playing this whole season. But like I said, you know, I'm getting used to playing it. You know, it's kind of second nature now because we talked about how it's hard, but it's also simple because we only ran like a few plays, but it's just like the motion and how you got to communicate before is what makes it a little bit more challenging. So,
Front row on the right, Eric Hansen.
Jaden, I wanted to drill down a little bit on that rover. I mean, it didn't look like traditional rover. I mean, you looked like you were kind of taking charge and you knew exactly where everybody. Can you just take us through the role a little bit? How that's different than a traditional rover against a traditional defense or offense?
Yeah, so the rover in that defense is I would say probably one of the most, if not the most important position, because you're playing to the field, and usually, when we play a team like Navy, they like to do their pitches or their quarterback runs to the field a lot. So, you got to, know when the guy's going to motion, you got to bump, when you're going to go to the post, when you're going to communicate. And then when they get in the gun, you got to know when you're checking in, when you got to go out there and cover the guy. But, yeah, I would say it's a really unique role, but, it's a lot of fun playing it. So.
And then sometimes when teams play Navy's offense, they're a little bit tepid. You guys aren't. You were very, very aggressive. How does that come about with your team through Coach Ash, through Coach Freeman?
Yeah, I'll say from the top down this week, the coaches, they did a great job of preparing us. And then, this week at practice, we were practicing fast. We always went out there with the right mindset. Sometimes, we get a little annoyed because it's, the triple option. Like, we have to stop playing regular football for 1 week. But, we said, forget it. We're going to go out here, do what we got to do, handle business. And, that's just a testament to, the coaches, the staff, and the players on the defensive side of the ball. I think we all worked really hard this week, all put our heads down, and ultimately that showed today. So.
Same row, Pete Sampson.
Marcus talked a little bit about, not tolerating stuff that's below the standard. Aside from just, saying it at a team meeting, could you give us some insight of, how the coaches, model that or show you that in practice?
Right. Yeah, so, in practice, I would say not even the coaches, but I feel like the players now, we all hold each other accountable. Like, you're not going to get by even for making the smallest mistake. Like, somebody's always going to call you out. Nobody takes it personal because we all know that we are always trying to make each other better. Everybody's trying to come together to, achieve one goal, and that's what a team has to do. So I feel like everybody has been doing a great job of holding each other accountable and taking it the right way and using it to get better. So,
DeVonta, can you kind of take us through what your year has been like battling the injury? There's a long stretch of games there where you don't play, and then second game back, you got to go against Navy and their option offense. So just what's that been like for you?
Most definitely. First and foremost, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this opportunity. And to answer your question, it's definitely been tough, but trusting in God and His plan, knowing that He makes no mistakes, and knowing that I will get back out there on that field and, be able to contribute for my team. And, that's really how that process has been.
And then your confidence level going against this offense specifically, what was it about going into this game where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to do what's asked of me tonight?
Most definitely. So during the bye week, we were able to get an extra week to prepare for these guys. This was my first time going against triple option, so everything was foreign to me. And going into preparing before the game, I felt so confident just because we had that extra week to prepare for it. And that allowed me to play fast today for sure.
Staying on the left side, Tyler James.
DeVonta, was there someone you leaned on to try to guide you through what it's like to play against an option offense like this?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Definitely our coaches for sure. Definitely were a big help. And then the players who played last year against this team and, obviously the older guys who've been in the system and played these guys longer than I have. So definitely I can shout out Adon for that. Tay, even though he didn't play last year, but he was around and know the system. Just really all the DBs definitely helped me get a grasp on what they were going to do and allowed me to play fast for sure.
And is there anything, too, you haven't had as many playing opportunities this season because of the injury that maybe elevates the importance of a game like this for yourself?
I think every game is important, not just because we're playing Navy this week, we don't take any team lightly. We don't put any more emphasis on another team, just each and every week it's the same thing, go out there and win and achieve team glory.
DeVonta. Oh, we'll do one more. Up the middle, Mike Berardino.
Going back a couple of years, you know what a Nick Saban team is like when they ratchet things up and November comes and it's winning time. How's it feel? What's maybe similar? What's different about the Notre Dame experience as you get to November and winning time?
Most definitely. The best teams win in November, and we believe that we were one of the best teams in the country, and we're going to continue to prove that. We just got to stay locked in each and every day, each and every practice, each and every game, and like I said, to be able to achieve team glory each and every week.
And then Coach Freeman's mentioned your experience with having the setback with your calf against Boise. He's trying to explain that to Jaden Greathouse, trying to keep him patient with his different injury, but still trying to come back within a season. Do you talk to Jaden and try to keep him patient? Explain to them why it's good to wait until you're fully 100%.
No, most definitely. You know, my journey here is, I definitely didn't expect it to go like this. You know, I definitely talked to him a lot about, you know what I'm saying, not going out there until you're fully healthy because, you know, I was eager to get out there and, you know, that caused it to, you know, make my injury worse, you know. But like I said, God makes no mistakes, and I'm trusting in his plan, and I'm going to continue to do everything I need to do to achieve team glory for my team.